Welcome to the EarthWorks podcast, where our team will share the jargon of carbon with many of the turf friends we've met over the past 35 years.
Hello all, and welcome to the EarthWorks podcast. This week I'm your host, Jack Higgins, but hosting me is my friend Dave Wood.
Yes.
Dave, you're the guest on the podcast, but I'm the guest of you, so thank you. Bro.
No problem.
And for those of you that are on YouTube, just check it out. We're in Dave's shop, Dave and I here, checking out the rainy July. This makes you, how many inches did you get last night?
So just this morning we got like an inch and a quarter.
And how many inches in the last month, say?
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I could actually
Like
look it up really
double
quick
digits.
because it's in the last month at Stockton.
Yeah, by the way,
month
Dave
to
Wood, the head groundskeeper. What's your title here, Dave?
Supervisor of landscape maintenance.
Supervisor of landscape maintenance at Stockton University.
Yes.
Beautiful state school in Atlantic County, New Jersey. Yeah, man. Yeah, and we've had a rainy month or so.
Yes. I would say 5 or 6 inches in the past month.
Yeah, quite a bit, dude.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your job here. What do you do? Like, what is?
So
what is
it's,
that role?
I mean, it's campus-wide grounds maintenance. It's not just the stadium field,
Right.
which has gotten a lot of attention with the World Cup in the past year.
Okay.
But I mean, it's baseball, softball, intramurals, turf field, the campus, Atlantic City campus, trash and recycling program. It's 1,600 acre campus, so it's.
And it is
it's
the
involved.
everything grounds. job.
Everything outside is me, pretty much.
Oh yeah, it's wild.
I mean, my turf representative salesmen, they think of it as just, fields, but it's a lot more than that.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's all the facility side of running the entire.
It's a lot of trash removal too.
Oh,
I mean, the kids
man.
generate a lot of trash, and that takes a lot of our time, really.
How big's your crew?
It's 20 right now, including Atlantic City. We have 3 guys in Atlantic City.
Okay, so
Oh.
yeah, just to explain, that's like a separate campus, than here.
Yep.
We're kind of like set back in where like kind of we're on the Atlantic City is a barrier island.
Yeah, this is Galloway, so it's like a 15-minute drive.
And we're kind of like in the woods, you'd say.
Yeah. And
Pines?
Atlantic City isn't.
No, Atlantic.
Yeah. It's a totally different feel down there, and really a whole different game. I mean, it's mostly trash removal down there.
Okay,
It's a
trash
lot
is
of
the
that.
game.
I mean, we have landscape and some grass, but it's a lot of just keeping the campus clean. I mean, the trash like swirls down there. If you keep the campus clean and then come back, you just do it again.
Just because the amount of people, there's
just the amount of people, the amount of traffic.
it's urban.
It's urban. People are walking around throwing their regular trash on our grass and whatever else.
Well, what do you do to keep things nice and to bring that kind of landscape feel to that urban environment? Like, what do you have over there?
Yeah, so I mean, we have a lot of native plantings that are incorporated in the residential buildings and the academic building.
Like what?
And
like native grasses or what is?
It's mostly native plants or ornamental plants, and we do have some grass that we take care of, and we do flowering pots down the front of the academic, which gets a lot of attention.
You build all those pots yourself, or how does that work? Like your crew, or what? What's the process?
I mean,
of
it's
that?
a seasonal. We do like mums in the fall and stuff like that. It's like seasonal planting.
But so a couple times a year, you're taking plants
Swapping
in.
them out.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Good deal, dude.
Yeah.
EarthWorks wise, you've gotten in with different stuff in that before. Myco,
Yes.
C3.
And which I'm going to start doing more. We have hanging baskets here
Okay.
at Stockton. We have like 40 hanging baskets, big hanging baskets.
Right.
And then we do the large planters. And I'm going to start doing the C3 and some of the
C3 drenches. Yeah, like 1% solutions. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
talked
that's
about
the deal. That's the deal with grounds management. Like, it's like, what can we do to beautify the space that we have? Like, make things shine, especially in these kind of campus and urban environments where like you're doing both. But you really came up through the turf world.
I did. I'm a golf course guy.
Yeah, you're a golf course guy.
Yeah.
So you have, what's like your history coming up at greenkeeping? Like,
I mean,
how did you get into this?
I was Blue Heron Pine since I was 14, working under Clark. I mean, he taught me pretty much everything. I always wanted to be what he was.
Blue Heron is like a big property, right? 27 holes.
Blue Heron's 18. It's just the West course now, because it used to be the West and the East.
Okay,
and the East is no more. It kind of just
okay, that's what
off.
I remember.
That was the whole Roger Hansen. He sold the property.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, solar. So there's solar there too, right? I've been there. Yeah.
What's that?
The solar, like a solar farm over there.
There might be now. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. But anyway, okay. So you got going doing that.
Yeah.
Coming up greenkeeping, golf course gig, and you kept that. And where'd you go to school? Oh, I know. Yeah. I know, bro. Had Joel.
I mean, that's where the EarthWorks. Well, Clark was an EarthWorks guy too.
Oh, he was.
I mean, to some degree, but it was mostly Joel at Rutgers. I mean, it just made sense to me, really. The whole program, the science behind it, it made sense to me.
What years were you at Rutgers?
2001 and 2002.
Yeah, good deal. Yeah. Joel was well established there, like at that point. Like he, I was in the middle of his time there. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
it just made sense to me. The whole, feed the soil.
Right. And you were doing it in practice at the same time, working for Clark. You're saying, like you were learning about it as you were doing it, which so many of us like got to do, which was really, really beneficial. And you couldn't. Yeah, and it makes sense. You see it work. All right, so you came up through the golf world, and you were also at Pine Valley, I know.
Yeah, Clark was an assistant at Pine Valley, and he kind of, talked with Rick and kind of got me the job, really.
And you're from South Jersey. You're from here, right? Yeah. Like that's where you grew up. That is kind of the mecca for greenkeeping in this area. Like if you're into greenkeeping, and you're from South Jersey, and you're on a track, you're probably going to find yourself putting in some time at PV.
Yeah. It was a great time. I wouldn't change it for the world. I learned a lot of valuable lessons.
And worked really hard.
Worked
really hard, which is
and I made some great friendships there too, which I still have.
It's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's nice to have that kind of community that you can build in golf and build in turf. But you've got to put yourself into those places. Like that's where you meet people. That's where you meet the people that you keep going with forever and ever. So yeah, it's really nice. But anyway, you've been at Stockton now for how long?
Since 2005. I started at
20 years, bro.
Yeah. I mean, this is my 20th year already.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
Crazy. I know.
It's wonderful. And tell me, like, what's the essence? What's the big change? Like, because you made that shift from kind of like high intensity daily out before the golf, big tournaments, all that kind of probably 80-100 hour weeks some weeks during the summer over there.
Yeah, I mean, it was it's a state job, it's a union job, so it's
big adjustment.
It was a big adjustment.
What did that feel like?
It's really, coming from the golf world, it's just different. You have to kind of adapt to the union employees to try to keep everybody happy. Really.
Yeah, and keep getting the job done.
Yeah, and keep getting the job done. Yeah. It's definitely hard. I would think harder, but easier because it's less stressful. There's less like timestamps on things.
Yes. But, so overall, a good adjustment. Like you'd recommend it to anyone?
Definitely. I mean, I like it. I mean, if I want to take a week in July, I can do that. Where in the golf course world, it's hard to do.
You just can't do that.
Yeah.
However, you have big events that happen here as well, and like you host NCAA, events all the time. Yeah. But and we can transition to talk more about athletic fields. And right now in this summer and hopefully next summer as well, like we've got all this soccer in North America, and World Cup coming next year, and you've been base camp
Yes.
You know, so talk to us about that.
So this past year, they actually just left. We had CR Flamengo, which is one of the most popular soccer teams in the world. I mean,
Yes.
they have 45 million social media followers. It was a big deal, especially with security and them being okay with our facilities, them being okay with our field. Um, they were kind of worried about Brazilian fans kind of flooding this place.
This is truly like hosting the Yankees.
Yeah,
this would
it
be
is.
like
For the soccer world, yes.
Yeah, like
and then that's exactly how the FIFA representatives kind of like tried to describe it to us. Like,
okay,
this is like having the Yankees in our world.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. In the Brazilian world, like CR Flamengo
it's like the Yankees.
Is it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
all right, I got you.
It was, and they were super happy with our facilities, the field. I mean, they couldn't say anything negative about.
They only just left. You're saying like a week ago.
Yeah, it was like a week ago.
Yeah, and leading up to that, it was representatives from FIFA that were here, from that club, from CR Flamenco that were here, but also like you also had like international diplomatic stuff going on too, right?
Yes.
Like government stuff. Like you're hosting the Yankees.
Yes, there was Homeland Security, there was anti-drone, state police.
Yeah.
We had to build an 8-foot barrier wall around this whole property to try to, like, you know, so nobody could see in, to keep people from stampeding, you know, and trying to get autographs and trying to, you know, whatever.
And this is kind of Stockton, the campus here is a perfect place for that because it is very secluded,
Yes.
tucked away.
That's one of the things that they really liked about it. They liked the AC airport, the proximity, they could fly in, fly out.
Okay.
The proximity to the link where they were going to play their games.
Okay.
And they wanted a team-based camp somewhere right around here. And it's like in the woods, secluded, away from main roads and streets and stuff like that.
Yo, the link, Tony Leonard, Lincoln Financial Field there in Philadelphia, another guest of the EarthWorks podcast.
Okay.
So actually, the team was playing on EarthWorks fields.
Yeah, I mean, how could you go wrong?
How could you go wrong? That was just a shameless plug.
Yeah.
Come on, I had to. But okay, yeah. So they like this setting. Like
Yes.
they had everything that they need.
I mean, the buses pulled up right here. They got right out. The field is right there.
Wow.
You know, they didn't have to like walk like, you know, a half a mile to get to where they're working out and where the locker rooms are and then where the field is and stuff like that.
Right. Like world, you know, top line facilities right here. And you had to prove that. You had to show that, sell the place.
Yeah,
you know,
they came and visited about 6 months prior, and the field was dormant. But as soon as they walked on the field, they're like, they could tell it was going to be good.
It had that service.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So let's talk the field because you and I've done this together. I've been working with you for 15 years, dude.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So and yes, and Joel met you when it sounds like you were like 19, 20.
I was like 20.
Wow. Yeah, very cool,
Yeah.
dude. But when I first got here to meet you, the field was different, right? Like so this is a new field.
Yeah, it got renovated and we did the Bermuda grass in 2001. So
Okay,
it's like,
right after COVID, right
it's like
during
the fourth
COVID.
year. Yeah.
It was so renovated. What was you also did some leveling work because I remember this field had like kind of old school surface drainage. That was it.
Yeah, it was redone. It has 12 inches of mix underneath.
Okay.
It's like USGS spec, pretty much.
Yeah, gravel drainage, the whole thing. It used to be a POA annual,
Yes,
like soccer field.
Yeah, and it was hard to manage in the summer. You know,
But it was a beautiful POA annual soccer field. Dude.
I mean, it was. I mean, it was great. I mean, people loved it, but it was just hard for me to keep it the way, you know, with the summers getting hotter, and it was just, and the drainage was, you know, suspect. So if we got those thunderstorms and it stayed wet, you know, it was kind of hard to manage that way.
Okay.
But when they were talking about redoing the track, I was kind of like, well, let's redo the field too.
Okay, so that's how it worked.
Yeah, so because they don't think grass, they just think like, you know, they're going to redo the track. So I kind of brought up like, you know, the field should be renovated. So that's when we started going into. I mean, they were great. They're like, give me the specs, give me what you want, give me the, you know, and that's what we did.
And you did, you know, and relatively compared to say it was going to be a plastic field, it was probably the price tag was probably a tenth of what it would have been or less.
You're talking synthetic?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Well, we couldn't do synthetic anyway because of the pinelands and drainage and different things like that.
Oh.
And you know,
All right. Good to hear.
Stockton likes to have the kind of niche of having a nice grass field for soccer.
Natural grass field.
Because soccer's like their thing here. We don't have a football team, so you know, soccer's like it.
But I mean, my point is that like you put in a Bermuda grass field with a brand new sand root zone, gravel, drainage, the whole thing, flat level, and it probably cost 10% or less than what like a synthetic field installation would have been.
It was still expensive because of how I did it, and all the mix that was put in, and all the mix that had to be removed.
Okay.
So it was kind of it made it kind of pricey.
Okay, interesting.
But you know, just with the whole idea of having a grass field, they were okay with it, like because they
you did it right,
nice.
dude.
Yeah,
you did it right.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I feel like every college has a synthetic field.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that doesn't
that's the
like
point.
separate.
I'm trying to figure out like
Yeah.
what the angle is, and I guess you're saying the actual angle is that we've got a nice field.
Right.
We've got like a field that people want to play on.
And this whole World Cup thing would have never happened if we had a synthetic field. They don't want to play on that.
No,
You know what I
who
mean?
wants to
So-
play on that? And they're a dime a dozen in reality. Like if you wanted to play on that, they're all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no specialness. Okay, so
Yeah.
all right. So Bermuda grass was new to you in 2021.
It was, and there was a learning curve for sure.
What do you have?
It's Tahoma 31.
Tahoma 31, and oh yeah, and that's what Tuckahoe grows there, which is another South Jersey company.
I met with Keith up there. He's been great with all my questions and kind of guided me through. But when I first started looking at it, I went up there and looked at it, walked on it, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, it's fairway grass. I mean, it's
and it
beautiful.
does great and better as the summer goes on. And then our soccer season, our normal soccer season is like August, September. You know, when this
and it's
is
doing
rocking
great.
and rolling.
Yeah,
at that time of year. So.
Okay, perfect. But what was the learning curve, and what kind of things have you run into since?
I think overall, just the amount of fertility that it wants.
You had gone from managing truly a Poa annua field, compared to a Bermuda grass field.
Yeah,
there's a lot of more requirement.
Yeah, and what it likes too, like and what kind of wasn't responding.
It's hungry. It's hungry.
Yeah, it's always hungry. I feel like, and some of the synthetics that I tried, it just didn't respond to.
Nothing happened.
But not just because you're EarthWorks, but it really responded to the 822. I mean, the 822. The first time I put it out, it was like instantly.
Yes, I remember talking to you.
Definite reaction.
Like maybe a year and a half ago, something like that, and that's what you were saying. Was like, it's weird there's a lot of things I don't get response to. Like I'll put a pound of fertilizer down, and
it was just like. I mean, it was responding a little bit, but not like I was expecting.
Okay. So that's what we've seen with 822. That combination of ammonium sulfate and the compost, just the Bermuda grass loves it, eats it up. And you were able to be relatively efficient with it. Like you can get a half pound of N generally does that big response. Let's see, but you also we're up here on the coast. It can get very cold in the winter. It can.
Right. And that's another thing that I dealt with this year.
Okay.
So coming out of spring dormancy, like the middle of the field was not responding, not coming out of dormancy the way it had been the past 3 years. So I'm like, what's going on? I called Keith. He came down and looked at it. We're digging around for like green shoots. And
Keith is the Bermuda grass grower, the Tahoma grower at Tuckahoe.
Yeah. And he said, well, I've been doing this for the past like 3 weeks now, like looking at people's crowns, trying to find green shoots because it happened a lot of places. We just had some of those sub-zero cold winds. And I also think the severe drought we had in the fall kind of led into it.
Definitely.
Stressed it out, and then we had the cold winter, and it just some of the middle crown of the field, the highest part of the field, just never came out of dormancy.
Yeah.
So we had to sod about an acre of the middle of the field.
Okay. Not crazy. I mean, and if that has to happen, well, let's talk about strategies, how like to fight against like that happening, because yeah, you're 1 in 10 winters are going to be harsh. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I always talk about second half of the season, like take advantage big time. Don't let off the gas when it comes to pushing that recovery, because the plant needs to do that, or wants to grow laterally and grow all those roots. And you got to make hay while the sun shines. Like really, second half of the season's probably, like in the Bermuda grass world, is really the end of July. Like by August 1st, it's like it's changed. The daylight's changing, and like recovery days are dwindling, because, and if it's droughty, like you better hope you have irrigation.
Yeah. Last year was extreme with the drought. I mean, well, we didn't get any rain for the second half of the summer all the way through the fall. Like it was extreme.
A lot of Bermuda grass best management practices had been, and some people still follow, to really lay off the fertility in the second half of the year and just supply potassium. And that's important, big time. But I would say you still want to keep a nice even fertility, because like I'm saying, like you've got to, that's your fight against winter kill. Your fight against winter damage is having that dense turf stand, and your daylight time's dwindling, so push it right through.
And we are covering the field this year too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good.
Just because with World Cup next year, we're going to get a country. This winter we're going to be assigned a country for next year, and with the whole Flamengo thing working out, and FIFA is definitely saying you're definitely going to be having a team, so they kind of want the field covered just so they don't have to worry about. Is
that something that you guys have to buy now, or had you already had them? Or
no, we don't have them. We're going to buy them.
What are the decision making? Just we try to make this podcast so that opens people's ideas. Like, so what are you thinking about in that purchase?
I just can't take the chance going into next year with the World Cup.
Yeah, no doubt. But I'm saying specifics in buying a blanket. Like, have you looked at them yet? Do you know what you're looking for? Like, how do you make that decision? How do you pick out the right one?
So right now, it's pretty much cost. I mean, that's what Stockton is kind of concerned about. I mean, it is a lot to cover that field. As long as it gives me a couple degrees. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be top quality. Like,
and protect against the wind.
Yeah, the wind, and just giving me a little bit of protection. I feel like that's all it really needs.
All right, good deal. Yeah. So that's good to, that's a good perspective, because that is what you're getting. That's what you're after. Like, because it's a difference of, like you're saying, only a couple degrees.
Yeah,
that's the difference maker. So field got a bunch of play with Flamengo here. You've had a bunch of rain as well. Like, although there were nice sunny days while those guys were here, I remember.
It was great weather, really. Yeah. I mean, we had some misty days.
Okay.
Which actually they love, because it like keeps the turf wet.
They like the hydroplane. They get that slickness.
Yeah. And like we were running the sprinklers. That was one thing that I didn't really realize, that those guys like to practice with the field wet. Like the sprinklers run all the time. Like, they just want the sprinklers to keep running as they're practicing, pretty much. Yeah, they just want that ball to keep skimming on the surface.
It's very cool. Yeah. So you're like just doing like a syringe cycle, like
like they would like signal over it, and we would turn it on, like.
Wow!
Like a couple times during practice usually.
That's really interesting. That's cool, man.
Yeah, but the field held up. Like, they were really impressed with the way the field held up. I mean, they are aggressive, and the FIFA rep would come out and try to take pictures of damage on the field, and he would really struggle to find damage. Like, yeah, I mean, it held up really, really well.
So let's talk about, well, you also said that they were a sharp group that like moved around appropriately too.
They definitely rotated wear. Like, they would bring goals onto the field. They would constantly rotate their heavy like workout, like their morning workout type of thing, where they're doing like ladder drills, different things like that. Like one day they would do it here, next day they would do it there, next day they would do it there.
Yeah, so there's a lot to be said about that.
I watched the goaltenders like fix divots and stuff like that. Like, wow, like they were definitely respectful of the field.
Wow,
for sure.
Yeah, and like you're going to be hosting again. Hopefully the next group knows as well. Knows how to do it.
The Flamengo team said that the 4 countries that are probably going to be here, they've already contacted them saying that you definitely want to come start.
Oh, that's
what I mean. So that's pretty cool.
Really nice.
They were really happy, and they won while they were here, so that helps.
Oh heck yeah, they were happy. Yeah. You guys were good hosts.
Yeah.
Sure. That worked out. Yeah. You got a lot of like TV play too while in these last couple of weeks on the Philly news and
that was cool.
Yeah, it was way cool.
Yeah. I mean, it got Stockton a lot of, just free advertisement. Really, I mean, just getting the Stockton name out there.
Yeah. All good, man.
Yeah.
So okay, the field really handled the wear really well. The FIFA guys were struggling to find any divots and wear. Let's talk about the program. What did you do? You mentioned the 822. That was something I know you did this spring.
Yeah, we actually did that twice. Once before they came here, and like once like as they were here.
Okay.
Just to give it another boost, like to keep it going.
Perfect.
But we also were doing the liquid program, the liquid EarthWorks. We're doing the C3 Protein Plus, CalVantage, MagVantage.
Yeah, dude.
All that. I mean, and that's another thing that I've learned that Bermuda really responds to. The C3 in particular.
C3.
Like if I spray that, like within a couple days, it's glowing.
And it's and what I love about C3 is it's a low use rate. I mean, and
it's lower than
the other ones. Exactly. Like it's the low use rate product. You look at, if you were to look at all the, you look at all the nutrients that are in it, they're minute. It's not huge percentages of any one thing.
I've read it and be like, why does this respond so great to it? You know what I mean? Like I can't
put your finger on it,
but it works.
It's a natural response and it works, and you get like this glowing, like you're saying, like you just get it looks damn healthy.
Yeah, there was a day when they had a game at the link, and we kind of had the opportunity to spray.
Okay.
So I went out with the C3 because I know that works.
Right. And you're not gonna juice it. Like you're not gonna juice it up.
It's not gonna cause damage or anything like that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right, good to know. And that's another thing with typical management practices in Bermuda grass. And I'm talking because Bermuda grass is always thought of as like the cheap alternative, in terms of like grasses. Like just it'll grow no matter what. Just let it go. But just little tickles make a huge difference. Like a half pound of N from 822. Little bit makes a huge difference. Or the C3, which is like a 1%, less than 1% nitrogen product, makes a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. You and any terms of let's see, what's the plan for the rest of the year out here? You have to host Stockton.
So probably with the weather, we were going to do it this week, but I don't know if it's going to be pushed to next week. But we're going to deep tine vertidrain. We're going to top dress.
You mentioned that as well. That is one thing that they was highlighted as areas of improvement that you've noticed, and that you've also seen on core analysis, that you're trying to break through a layer.
Yeah, there's like a sod layer, and which kind of holds water initially, and then it kind of flushes through.
Right.
But one of the things that they're kind of concerned about is that like if we get like a thunderstorm during play next year during the World Cup, how long is it going to stay on the surface?
Okay.
And they have to delay play by 2 hours or 3 hours.
So what's your plan for that? Like how aggressive can you get? And
I'm going to try to deep tine vertidrain, aerate, and top dress twice this summer. And I want to do a verticut and top dress.
There you go. Because that's the time to do it. And then
I'm going to try to do as much as I can between now and, have it
your team
grown in before soccer season.
Yeah, which is probably...
Which is like September 1st, usually.
Okay, good deal. When school starts.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good. Hopefully, you got the good weather and you got the time and you got the crew. But at the same time, you're managing everything else.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
keeping the campus beautified, keeping the kids coming to school. Like you like that. Your part. You know, Joel always talks about this. Like your role is truly like the aesthetic manager, so that when like prospective students roll up, it's like, and parents with the checkbook say, yeah, I feel good about my kid going to school here because the place is nice. It looks nice. It's clean.
Yeah, first impressions. I mean, I always hear that.
That's what you hear.
Important. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hugely
For sure.
important. You're the one. So you keep so campus grounds just quick and intramurals and everything. I imagine you try and keep it simple and consistent. What's your approach there?
As far as fertility?
Yeah, fertility, agronomic program.
Yeah,
what,
I mean,
like,
I love the 545 for
Right.
all the kind of campus lawns, and I use it a lot on intramurals and baseball, softball. Fields that aren't as highly maintained as like the stadium field.
because you only might be able to get out there with something 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah.
So
It just keeps it steady growth and steady green growth.
Good.
And it just is, and it gets better every year as you build the soil.
yeah, perfect.
Like, and if we can't get out there, it's not the end of the world because it's still fine.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It'll
and-
bounce back.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing. It'll bounce back.
Yeah.
And I know, by the way, just in the personal world, you're like a big gardener and you use a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
Gardening,
I
right?
mean, it's great for.
What do you grow?
I grow tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, corn. all
Yeah,
that
like the
stuff.
whole
Yeah.
Garden State garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it, man.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
That's cool. 545. You use 545 and Myco. You've used both, I think.
Yeah,
Have you ever used C3 in the garden?
I have not, but
That's
I
the
should-
one.
I
And that's
should,
what you're
probably.
saying. You're going to try and
Yeah.
you're going to be using more in your planters and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I definitely want to.
Same thing with the garden. That's the
Yeah.
way to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man, you made time for me on a rainy day, and I appreciate it, Dave.
Yeah,
You're
thank you.
always good
Yeah.
to me, pal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
And this was fun, doing the podcast, but also the excitement around what you got going with the World Cup this year and next year.
Yeah,
So,
it should be interesting.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All
Yeah,
right, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, thank
Yeah.
you. All right, thank you, listeners. This was another good episode of the EarthWorks podcast. Thanks to our buddy Dave Wood. Yeah, great day, and keep listening. Check out some of those good pointers and tips. Keep in mind, summertime right now. Get aggressive with that Bermuda.